Hi guys, it is Andy here with the BPD Warrior. It's kind of ironic that my last video was about what to expect when you have your first psychiatric unit stay, because starting on May 31st, I spent a little over a week in a psychiatric unit. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's not something to be ashamed of either. My mentor, who basically got me started on this whole public speaking journey, Jen, hi Jen, um, she would often say that going into a psychiatric unit is sometimes, she wouldn't say in those terms, but like a necessary evil, kind of like going to the mechanic. Sometimes your car is just breaking down a little bit and it needs to be repaired. Same with your brain. Sometimes you need to go into a psych unit and get things figured out. And I did. I needed to. And I was doing what was healthy for me, so it's not something to be ashamed of. I have been dealing with depression, but it had gotten to the point that I was feeling suicidal, so I needed to get help, and I did. Um, I stayed there for a little over a week, like a week and 2 days, I think. I made a friend. It was her first time in a psych unit, so I kind of guided her process. There were some funny stories about what happened. There were some scary stories about what happened, but that's not here nor there, because that's not the point of this video. It's how I'm doing with what's happened post psych stay. So the catalyst for me going into the psychiatric unit and dealing with the suicidal thoughts was a fight with my fiance. The details are a little unclear, and I was not quite clear about what was happening when I went into the unit. About 3 days in, they were ready to release me. And when they release you from a psychiatric unit, they need to have a safe place for you to go. They don't want you to be, on the street or anything like that. So I asked them to release me to my fiance. Well, my fiance told my social worker that he broke up with me and I couldn't go back home. And while I was there, I talked to him multiple times. He kind of made it sound like we had the possibility of getting back together. And when I got home from the psychiatric unit, the locks had been changed on my house. So that's some ongoing personal drama that's obviously difficult to process, especially after a psychiatric stay. So this video is about how I'm coping with all of this. Obviously, if you've watched any of my other videos, I am in a new place. I actually thought I'd be couch surfing for a bit because I didn't have a place to go, but a friend was kind enough to allow me to stay in his guest room for a little while I get my stuff moved out of my former residence into storage and figure out where I'm going to live. It's very stressful, not fun, but I'm safe. That's the most important part. Starting next week, I will be attending an IOP, which will be in person at a local hospital. IOP stands for Intensive Outpatient Therapy, or Intensive Outpatient Program, I'm sorry. This is a program where this one's actually physical and you actually go there, despite, Corona. A lot of them are via Zoom right now, but you go there and you have multiple groups a day, you have some individual sessions, you do like art therapy, you do all sorts of things to work on bettering yourself, and I should be starting that next week. And so that will help keep me distracted and help keep me focused on my recovery. This has, been a difficult process, and I have posted on my personal Facebook page a little bit about it, and I have gotten so much support from so many people. I even had a person I used to speak with, I think about a year ago. She moved from Virginia to Massachusetts, and she texted me and was like, I saw what happened with you and your boyfriend, and I'm so sorry, and I'm thinking about you. And I've had so many people reaching out and offering to help, and it's been awesome. But I'd like to be clear, I have not been doing any trash talking. I've made some simple statements, similar to what I've said here, but I'm refusing to trash talk or, be petty like that. I'm trying to keep things civil, despite me not always being treated civilly in return. But the support has been very, very important. I have been increasing to weekly therapy now. I saw my therapist yesterday, Wednesday, and she really helped me work through a lot of things. Understanding what happened, well, as best we can, because it's been a little confusing. But she's helped me work through it and plan for things. And she said something to me that I had kind of already said to her, which was I was just trying to focus on one thing at a time. You know, this is the next step, this is the next step, this is the next step. And she had told me that she'd read a book and the author had referred to always doing the next right thing. I have to find a new place to live. I have to figure out how I'm going to pay for it. I have to figure out how I'm going to travel. I have to figure out where I'm going to put my stuff. There's so much going on. But if I think about all of that, it just overwhelms me. I get anxiety, I get stressed, and it's not good for me. So I just have to focus on doing the next right thing, or with DBT, the next effective thing. And that's all I can do right now. And I just do one thing at a time. I try not to focus on the big picture because, again, I was engaged to this man and was planning on getting married and planning a wedding and had bought a bunch of wedding stuff, and trying to figure all of that out is just way too much to handle. So I just have to focus on one thing at a time and just focus on what do I do next that's best for me, that's best for my healing, that's best for my life. And that's all I can do right now. So I have, as I said, we've increased it to now I'm doing weekly therapy while I had been doing bi-weekly, which, had been okay, but right now I definitely need the extra support. Right now I'm really focusing a lot on, from DBT, what we call the please skills, which is take care of physical illness, avoid substances, eating well, sleeping, exercising. Exercising's hard on me, but I'm trying. But those things are very important right now. I didn't sleep very well last night. I was having a lot of anxiety and had a panic attack, but I have been doing my best because that's the next right thing for me. The final thing I want to say that I've been doing is I have this box, and it was one of the most important things I took from the house. I took some belongings when I came home from the hospital. I was allowed in to get some of my stuff, some clothes, some personal stuff, my medications, things like that. But one of the most important things is I have this memory box that is just labeled personal memory box, and it has some of the most important items I own right now. Well, ever, actually. I've had this for years and years. And I had to, and most of the stuff in the box has mostly stayed in the box since it's been put in there. I've pulled things out to show people, but I've never really taken the stuff out to display it. I haven't really needed to do that, but I'll look through it sometimes. But I did pull things out that I need right now. I pulled out two things that are very important to me. When I was a child, I was very close to my paternal grandmother. We had a very special bond, and it's very difficult to believe that she passed away when I was only 8 years old. I have two things. One of them is a pillow that she kind of held in her casket and was given to me before she was buried, which is very important to me. And the other thing is this locket. The locket's actually broken. Funny story. I'm 8 years older than my sister, and when my sister was kindergarten or first grade, she stole all my jewelry and hid it in her pillowcase. One of them was the locket, and the locket broke. And it has a picture of my grandmother inside of it. Tried to get it fixed, but the jeweler said it would be more expensive to fix it than to replace it, but the locket's important to me as well. So I just keep it in this little box, and usually keep it in my memory box, but I've pulled it out, and I'll hold it and just kind of rub on it sometimes, and sometimes look at her picture. And the pillow I have across the room, And just right now, for the first time, maybe ever, I feel like I need that strength and that love from her. And I'm trying not to cry. But I really need that right now. And I feel like this is the best time to have it. And if you have things like that, they're important to hold on to. So that's all I have for today, guys. I am hanging in there. I hope you are too. Stay safe, and I will catch up with you soon. BPD Warrior, signing out. Bye, guys.